Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Thriving in 2020 show. My name is Miko Lau, and I'm your host today. And on this specific episode, I'm really honored to interview a really special guest. Her name is Mei Tsui. Mei is a business owner, entrepreneur, and also a certified nutritional advisor. She is also a mother of three. She's based out in Pennsylvania, and today I'm honored to have her to touch on the topics of why health is such an important component in our life in order to create a thriving lifestyle. So with that being said, Mei, welcome to the show.
Yay! Thank you so much. Thank you for having me on the show. I'm really honored for this opportunity.
Yeah,
And,
awesome.
You're beautiful today.
So are you, Mei. Yeah, it's so great because I actually got connected with Mei in person 3 months ago, about 2-3 months ago in Pennsylvania, and just being surrounded by her energy, like, I can feel that you are someone who is so passionate about sharing about what you know and your own journey of health transformation. And so today I'm excited to dive into that journey with us, with our audience. So why don't we start off this interview by taking our audience back in time a little bit and tell us, like, who were you back then, like emotionally, mentally, physically, before you made your health transformation?
Absolutely, yeah. We all have our own story, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really love to share my story. That is definitely every day I do, because I feel, no matter what we do in life and what we decide to do, and we may be the extrovert, like to really be talking, like easily to people, or maybe we're introvert, like just really shy at all time. But in general, I think how I learned in my life is we all just really people. We all just deeply in the human beings, humanity side. We love to be connecting to each other. And and with the Facebook, with now the technology in the past, especially I think this 5 or 10 years, we're able to actually connect a lot of people online. I still meet a lot of people offline because, to have a hug and actually to meet Miko and her family in person, it was the best time to have. So let's not take that away. But again, these online tools had really making lots of opportunity possible to meet and greet the people. I'm in Pennsylvania, and this is definitely 30 years ago. I had no idea I will be here, and I've been living in Pittsburgh area, Pennsylvania since 2002. That's 17 years. And then Miko is actually in Los Angeles. Beautiful place to be, have lots of sunshine. That's what we need to have here. We can borrow some today. So long story short, I can probably talk about this story for this whole afternoon, but I'm going to really try my best here. You can interrupt me, if this is getting really out of nowhere. But I came to US from Beijing, China in 1990 in March. And I'm very actually grateful for having this opportunity to interview this week, because this is actually truly my 30 years, just really a big anniversary for me, just really, marking
Congrats.
Thank you. Yeah, 30 years old. 30 years journey in, it's called Coming to America. Have you watched those movies? I absolutely made one myself. And this has been, I can't believe it. Yeah, 30 years. So yes, I was in I was 27. I came as a graduate student in civil engineering. Had no idea what would be coming next. All I did was really want to go to the graduate school, finishing my degree, and maybe going home at that time. So that was 1990. So the immigration and also how the country at that time, the economical status back then, it was totally, completely different from nowadays, how the people are. So absolutely, financially, there was a challenge. And the physical location was even more challenged because my English was not even fluent. We learned to read and write together with talking and the listening. So I could direct my friend, at the time I was in the school, get to find an apartment, and it was totally nowhere, the address was completely wrong. We went to an apartment, it was not even there. The place was not even there. So yes, so we all came from somewhere. That's how I started my American dream. If I say I was so clear of, like that goal, it was not, that would be really too cheesy, because really every one of us, we do have that really very close to us, that goal to start with. But again, very blurry when I started to meet the people on campus, and then to meet some professors, go to their home, and meeting some people, in the community, and you start to see how American life was like, right? And then you start to have some, like a picture in your mind, say, I would be someday maybe having a house, maybe having, a good job and a family. Absolutely, at that time, I was 27, I had no idea. So I was actually married for three years already. My husband actually later joined me in the US. Yes, it was all kinds of challenges we went through. So, but to keep that really, the time moving forward, it really just, what I describe is like really to take on the challenge one by one. And so my older son was born 1992, and that put really more challenge because I was in school, and then there's the kid to be raised. And then, so my younger son was born 1994, and I actually went down my first job, was 5 months pregnant with him. And just, out of really some courage. And so we do need several things, in however this journey is. Yes, one is if you find out a way, you believe yourself, you can. And also, don't just give up. And I find out also in this 30 years I'm here, I work with the people, professionally, personally, and now I'm also in this health and the wellness, in the very personal space with the people. You find out really the deep challenges. People actually do not lack of the courage, from time to time. We all get excited, like, let's do something. But again, the difficulty is to make it last, to still keep doing it. And then I love what the word Miko put it together is thriving it, because that means you actually are down, you really have the mud on your face, you actually whacked by the situation, and how actually you actually can move forward. It's not about at the time, the situation, you do not have the money, because I did not have the money, okay? The time when I started my first job, actually was in the civil engineering, and as a professional engineer, forward. And I was out of the money, right before that. The job actually came at a very desperate moment. I thought, really was really having a hard time looking for the job. So not giving up, yeah. And that's really something I have singing it. I say this is not because I was facing the challenge, I was not feeling bad. I would be feeling as same difficult as you all would be. And then, but how we actually this is a very important word I say here, because I'm going to, hopefully landing more on that. It's called a leveraging, to really, to utilize the help, around you, to really to utilize the resource around us, to offer the best of what you have to the others, and to put all that together in a synergy. You will find out, you actually have more than you ever thought you have. And that's how I think Miko, when she putting these shows together, talking about each individual's story, and by putting all this together, we're actually lifting each other up. So people are the very important the reason and elements in my journey, because through all the way, when I was in school, when later was starting my first job in California, and later I moved to Pittsburgh. It all matters meeting the people down the line. But again, at some point, you felt you really was out of it. It was like, there's no one can help me. My parents can't help me, and I'm in this bad situation because my parents, I tell you, back then in the 90s, they were in China. There's no way they can jump over to do anything. And then financially, not these days, the Chinese, the financial situation is completely different. I probably can call, say, hey, send me some money, I'm like out, right? So, but sometimes think about it. These are the blessings, and I'm a believer. So God gave us these opportunities really just to, make us strong. It's not to defeat us, but making us strong. We will figure it out. So making that call when we really do not want to, reach out to the people, talking with the people around to see, this is hard and how I'm actually going to get around. And a lot of time, even this moment, when I communicate with Miko on the line here, my brain is actually working in the extraordinary pace here to actually really, reflecting on what's happening. And actually now this moment is moving me forward, actually, because when we start to communicating the ideas, when we start to talk with the people, you find out seriously who you are, what you want, and why you do what you do. Is when we are talking. So yes, fast forward, my engineering career brought me to Pittsburgh, and then I was a licensed professional engineer. So in 2006, with my busy life, already, I had my younger daughter. So she was born. I was pretty kind of like a high risk group of this is called the high risk of pregnancy already. I was 43. I had her. So that was really for the first time in my journey, I hit a big roadblock. Basically my health, getting into issues, I had a blood clot, deliver her. So to a lot of, looking at the surface, it was an issue of like, maybe it's hereditary, maybe it was just, something bad luck happened. But really, after this 10 years forward, this period of my health journey, and everything was so crystal clear. It was really a health issue of my body. So that's how I was hitting that problem. And that early time I was hospitalized, because people at the 40s, hardly they would experience that kind of just have a taste of it and what it's like, right? We all have babies, we deliver. That's nothing to do with that kind of experience, So I was actually hospitalized, 8 days after she was born, and I was hospitalized for the blood clot and was treated for that. So realizing I do not want to repeat that experience, because when I was hospitalized, you realize there's nothing I can do, I lost the control of what is really forwarding, what is going to be happening. And it was very fearful for me too. And also the time I lost my really the deeply the belief in myself, like, am I going to be living to raise my daughter to be adult? And that is actually the responsibility all the parents, all of us, right, having in the society, in the community. And it's not like, okay, I'm happily just to be gone, God, I want to be with you. It's not something like that. That's our responsibility. Actually, we were chosen to be, to do this work, and there's no excuse, right? Say, hey, I'm just going to be weak and I'm not going to carry this through. So with that responsibility in my mind, and also want to really to make a change, I was searching for the next 4 years, basically up to 2010, for a solution for myself, you know, also for my husband, for my family. You know, what do we do actually can be really make a change, not by hereditary, not by just you know, eat something healthy and just do some exercise, you know, even we're really hungry. I try to lose some weight. Of course, I ballooned to 170 pounds, you know, and then try to lose weight. Of course, you know, is old, the traditional, everybody knows, not eating and exercising. We thought that's the best, you know, the solution. And you will meet lots of people, half of the people you meet on the street, they will tell you I'm on a diet and I am actually, this is working for me. It has been working, has to, but next year we'll repeat that again. So I was at that verge too, okay? For 4 years, I research on what actually the best exercise I do, and actually, then my knees start to give up, and my body really has not brought me, all those fads did not really bring me to anywhere to be that healthy range. I lost some weight, definitely. But again, every day is fearful, because is this going to last? Am I going to, you know, my energy was so low, and I have digestive issues, and I have headaches once in a while. So where this is going to? And I was still a civil engineer at the time, and but it's at the time I also realized financially, as a financial security, I'm looking forward, right? For the time being, I was living in the US. There is no security by anyone. The government won't give it to us. The corporation won't give it to us, because you know what? Something I remind you, you can Google it. And I don't know if they have the younger generation in the audience, you know, a time I came to US before some of your younger ones were even born, 1990, the people retire at 55 to get a full benefit of the Social Security. And so that time we thought, yeah, we retire at 55, right? And then that had changed. So as we were accumulating, we thought is something security we're building there. It already happened. The change already happened. So is it fair? We can sit here talking about this, you know, more and more, and the complaining, you know, as the time goes by, nothing will change unless we take the actions to our own. We have the control and ownership to our destiny, and not to leave it to somebody else. So that's 4 years searching in health also leave me in searching for some financial security. What would it be that to be giving me an opportunity as I am aging? We're all going to that more number. It's a great thing. It's a blessing to have that. The more number adding to us is the best thing. Okay, it's a blessing, because we don't want to stop at anywhere. We want to keep adding the number. But again, where is that look like? So that's a dream, basically, right? Similar as the time when I came to US and I look at someone has a house, has a car, you know, and has some savings, you know, that was really some point I was looking at in 1990. So at the time of 2010, I found something beyond that I was actually imagining, and that was the open-minded. It is called now my second half of my life of living. So because this is something I found I could really to make a change, a transformation of my health, because initially it was like that. I looking at what was, you know, the opportunity, the possibility, everything, the quality, the result, and everything. I see the chance of me of getting better, feeling better, and getting younger. No, not at the time. I was not expecting that. I was really thinking that just made me feel better, right? So then also, yes, there is an opportunity also together with this is, yeah, we build a network, you know, with the other consumers together, you know, yeah, everybody actually, lots of people familiar with this So it's a network marketing. But again, I tell you, there's so many of them, we could also get confused the same way as how the eating and the exercise get wrong. But it's not because you hit something bad before and you're going to just shut yourself down to the opportunity. We all had a bad burger before. The Chinese food, we all had some bad noodles and dumplings before. But you know what? We will never stop searching for that, the good one. So that was a blessing. 2010 in June, actually I was at a crossroad of deciding whether I will take on another corporate work and to be actually very stressfully to be traveling and also try to I just don't see how that lands as a mother. My sons are teenagers, they were in high school, and my daughter was a 4-year-old. So financially we were very tight. We're struggling to make the ends meet. But again, it was wonderful. I can't explain. It comes to me because the time when we are searching something, when we're looking hard, when that is not a shining armor, it is something really true to you. It comes to you. You can make that decision. And don't hesitate. Do not ask around. I did not Google. I did not go home, say, hey, check it out for me, because why? The people around you, if you believe in yourself, if you believe, how you through the years, how you have learned, how you have actually searched so hard yourself, you do not, remember, depend on government. You don't listen to that. You don't depend on the corporation. You do not depend on anybody else to tell you what you should be doing. So I followed my instinct because I know I searched the health so bad, because I know I searched this possibility of building a network. I was 47 already 10 years ago. So there we go. The math is simple, right? I'm 57 in this year. So fast forward, like from that point, I see if I take that corporation job for 10 years, nothing I will vest for myself because I will contribute my time. Of course, I'll get paid very well. I basically give up that 6 digits income, good travel, everything. But I just don't see how my family fitting into this, how my daughter fitting into this. So this also take the opportunity with Miko here, talking with those moms, the beautiful woman, the young woman, the moms at all age. I know what you had been going through, because we carry the guilt. We really are a really holistic, beautiful mind, how we trained, through our education, throughout the good background of, how we brought up to be, and beautifully. But again, we face more challenges than men in the professional field. So I found this platform, and it's just really work well for all, especially the men and the woman out there. If you're looking for, to have the health transformation, of yourself, not for a day, not for 21 days of those detoxing, but for every day. I didn't do anything fancy at all. There's really no fancy or we call magical, this wand here, just something happened, maybe coming this 10 years after. I look at my picture and the feeling is, not able to describe, because I remember clearly how my mom and dad was, the people I know I grew up with in their 50s, how their health was, how their look. Never neglect this look. This look, the skin is one piece. What I have here is what I have inside. So the opportunity I took, it was beyond the, any measure. The dollars, the money cannot measure, because how we can buy health, how we can actually, what do we say, to really give a price tag for our precious organs. How much the heart, the lung, and everything. This body is priceless. So the opportunity to really to take care of this ourselves, our family, and at the same time, pursue your dream. And you love, to do what you already doing, keep doing it. But again, the health is that fundamental what you have, that's as a consumer. But furthermore, if you see it as you actually have an entrepreneur mindset, you want to create something for yourself, of course, there's a huge, tax benefits too, Why we are shy of saying this, right? Because this whole country, the founding father created everything is in the benefit of you create a business and also, to take that risk and invest yourself in and to create something for your future. We own it ourselves. There's nothing to be, to be ashamed of, right? So if you have that entrepreneur mindset, you are actually, able to use this platform, to adding in the value you've really giving to the others, and to just be glow and also take it to wherever you are. And but fundamentally, there's nothing to lose, because look at me, what I get after this 10 years, right? This is no marketing. I don't need a marketing. This is just really the true story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to say this, like, for, people listening right now, like when I first met Mei in person, like I would never even imagine that she was, hitting close to 60. Like she just looks like someone who is super energetic, super vibrant. And like everything that she talked about, the health issues that, Mei, you've been through 10 years ago, like I would never even imagine that. Like I don't even see it's possible. And to see like that kind of health transformation to take place, like obviously something in you had to change, and you took that action. And I just love so many things that you said and that you mentioned. Think of our body as like the sacred temple. It's like the vehicle that we drive. If we don't take care of it, it's not going to get us from point A to point B. It doesn't matter what we do. We need to take care of that vehicle. And Mei, like I love that you also touch on the idea of like preventative measure, like thinking of the security. The true security is what we create for ourselves, like not depending on the government, not depending on the corporations. Like you've been through that path. And then I also love what you mentioned about the network, like surrounding yourself in a network of people. You really leverage each other's strengths, and our weaknesses might be something that someone else in the network can cultivate and help us bring us higher. So I'm really like loving everything that you're saying. And I also personally started my journey in network marketing, so like that completely opened my mind to what's possible out there beyond the typical 9 to 5 that struggle. so Mei, just to wrap up this interview, like I can talk to you all day. Like I know you have so much to share, and you're so passionate, but to respect your time, so why don't you share, give some last minute advice for anyone listening right now, if they're like on the verge of like they know they need to take care of their health, but they might be too scared, they don't know how. Like what would you say to these people listening right now?
Well, thank you for that. That is a good pick up there. Thank you, Miko. You're really good. Yeah. I just run the story. It was like a wow. And so I mentioned that this, just don't give up too early. You're almost there. At a really this most difficult time, you feel, you can't even breathe, it's like, I'm really at the verge of, like on this cliff, right? And, or you feel so risky and also like challenged, you're almost there. And so at that time, I, because I work with my daughter now, and she is actually, excuse me, she's actually, she's 13. So you all know how that tough age, is. So one of the things we worked together with her teachers, with the school, And I think that's really, because for the teenager, they expose their problem, very early, very quick, right? It was like, the problem. And when we're adult, we actually are able to hide a little bit, deeper. So one advice, I could say, because this is really what I am actually getting through with it, a lot of time. And get help, talk, start to really reach out, because if you're on the cliff and if you feel, you have an idea, you need to talk, just bury it in here, try to just all figure it out. I hear people talk all the time because I love to reach out people, just say hi and then just connect, right? Then sometimes you find out people really scared of, like they're afraid of, like, if I start to, to have some discussion, they're afraid of they're losing the situation already, so it's totally opposite. So when you really start to, open yourself up, the opportunity come, there is the door probably closed for you. We know the others are open, but it was always open at these communication talk, either online like we do, in the Zoom here. I felt today with this conversation we have, unfortunately I talked the most of it, but again, you see how it goes. Miko just did a therapy for me. So you bring it out.
No, yeah, I love the simple advice. Just talk about it, reach out. And that's something that most people are not doing enough. And this is a perfect segue to what I'm going to ask you next, Mei. So now anyone listening, like if they would love to talk to you, right, about your journey, like obviously you've been through the path and it's the best way to learn from someone who's walked the path before us. So if they would love to talk to you, how can they find you online?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Miko. Yeah. I love to offer my help, primarily I'm specializing in, giving personalized nutrition program. And, I connect people online, offline, but oftentimes you find out that we're really getting into a lot of personal space, like helping each other. Because of this journey, I have met so many people as this moment here, the people helping me out. So don't be afraid to reach out to get help, right? That's what we talked here. And so you can reach me. I have a website, and also I offer the link to Miko and to connect with me. And if you actually, click the link and, fill out the information, connect with me, you are able to get some free samples with my partnership company. And then you actually getting, now everybody talking about these virus, right? Everybody was like turned blue already. So, and you can't be afraid, you have to really, really carrying on our daily living, right? We have to be breathe normally, but again, we gotta have the good defense, right? To take some good defense.
Yes, awesome.
And,
okay, so I will have Mei's link and her social media inside the same email. I think the internet's cutting out a little bit. Mei, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I'm still hearing you. The picture is a little blurry here, but you're like a little frozen. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm back. Okay, the internet's a little bit choppy. Sorry, guys. So, to going back to what I was saying, to get access to Mei's, get on a one-on-one call with her, I'm going to put this link in the same email that this interview went out to. So just make sure to go back in there. And also let us know what your biggest takeaway was. We would love to hear from you, and just to see like what you're going to implement from listening to this interview into your life, because it's all about action. So with that being said, Mei, I just want to acknowledge you so much for taking your time out of your schedule to do this interview with us and sharing about your journey. Like, this has been really inspirational, and I'm sure it has touched our audience in many different ways. And I want to say thank you everyone for tuning in, and we will see you next time. Thank you, Mei.
It's all my pleasure. Thank you, Miko. And
Awesome.
stay sunny, stay happy, love it. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.